Miami Dolphins got themselves a little preseason action, got a win this weekend. That was fun, and it was enjoyable. I was watching at the same time, though, not to be outdone. And I'm a little disappointed, Brittany, because, I tried to invite my friend for a good time. My friend, Leroy Hort, so-called friend. And I invited him to join me in watching Serbia, Germany for the Super Cup championship. And he rejected me. He wouldn't want to watch.
Leroy, that's not very nice.
Why didn't you want to watch? And now it was in German, I think. Maybe it was in Serbian. I don't really know what the broadcast was in. I got to be honest with you. I don't know what language it was in. But I did find a YouTube stream of it, and man, you missed out.
Did I?
Oh, did you, dude? Because let me tell you something. And if and I'm not mincing words when I say this, Nikola Jovic balled the F out for Serbia and really won them the Super Cup. I mean, they are not here hoisting the Super Cup today without Nikola Jovic, because let me tell you something about Nikola Jokic. Didn't look too good. I would be worried about that if I was
he looked like it was basketball in the middle of the summer.
Looked a little portly.
But yeah. Okay.
He had the back thing on like he was lifting off of a truck. I was like, that can't be good. They still using those in Serbia? Apparently so.
Well, here's the deal. It's funny that when we talk about bodies, Joker has way worse body than Luka.
Yeah.
And he moves a lot slower than Luka.
Moves at his own pace.
Right.
Moves at his own pace. But I'm telling you something right now, dude. With Joker not playing at his finest, Jovic rose like a phoenix and carried Serbia to the Super Cup. And
right.
This was not.
Calm down, Connor.
I know what you're going to say.
Calm down, Connor.
Let's just put this in perspective, though. Okay, this is not, my friends. Okay, before you mock me, this is not Norman Powell dropping 34 on Costa Rica. Okay, Germany is no slouch, and he was going shot for shot with Franz Wagner, who was also playing very well. And there's a time where Jovic just had his pocket picked by Franz Wagner, because Germany kept doing the stealing the inbounds thing. They did it like 3 possessions in a row. They cut the lead from like 7-2. And Jovic had his cookies taken by Franz Wagner. I just like saying his name. And he responded. He goes, oh, yeah? Check this 3. In your face, Germany, to get them back on track and lead them to the win. Leading scorer, dropping threes like it's hot. Dude, he had this step back 3 over Franz Wagner from Steffland. I was like, look at Jovic, dude. It was impressive.
And you know what sucks about that?
What?
He's going to get to Miami, and they're going to stand him in the corner.
Big mistake. Big mistake.
I'm just telling you.
Big mistake.
I'm just telling you, when you see some of these guys play in, like, international basketball, and you're like, this guy's unbelievable. And then they come over here, and they treat him like young guy, no run.
They're not going to do that. I don't think.
But I've said this. I'm like, why can't Jovic get more run? He's been a pro at basketball longer than a lot of guys you have in that are playing.
Yeah, well, here's the thing about the Serbian national team, and this is what I also think is impressive. You know, he's been with them now for 3 years, and he was on the World Cup runner-up team. He was on the Olympic bronze medal team, and now he's on this team. But Spo put the challenge, hey, you were kind of a token, like he kind of scoffed at it. He goes, you were a token starter last year.
Oh, wait, he called them old boy from Indiana?
Yeah, he called him a token starter.
Halliburton?
Yeah, that's what he said. You're a token starter. And he goes, I want to see you in the moments of truth. And let me tell you something. We got the truth against Germany in the Super Cup.
All things being equal, Spo called him out. He responded.
Mm-hmm.
What does that do for him here? Because this is where I'm going to be honest with you. There's been a lot of situations where we've seen guys play great in other places. They come here, role player.
Not like this, dude. Not like this.
Okay.
Not like this.
Okay.
This is a world
I'm just saying. Am I wrong for
No,
thinking
I
the way
understand
I'm
what you're saying.
thinking?
I understand the
Okay.
skepticism. I understand the
Okay.
skepticism.
Okay.
But this was different. And let me tell you something. Serbia, they don't like the young. I actually don't think a lot of his teammates like him except for Joker. Because I'll be watching sometimes and be like, hey, Bogdanovic, give him the ball. And then Abramovich, give him the ball. Because let me tell you something. These older Serbian players, they like to chuck up shots.
You know why? Because this is the only place they're going to get some run.
Maybe so. Maybe so. But I'm sitting there and I'm like, what are we doing here, dude? Give him the ball. He's going shot for shot with Franz Wagner.
They don't understand we got to feed the guy who's cooking.
Got to feed who's cooking, dude. And that got lost in the sauce a little bit until Jovic just started just draining fadeaways. It was impressive. But I tell you one thing, that Joker likes playing with him. Makes me nervous. Better sign his ass.
Oh, so wait. So what you're saying is, and let me get this straight. You're saying that there might be a Tobin situation in Denver.
I don't know if Denver's hip to Nikola Jovic, but what I'm telling them is,
when Joker gets back,
all I'm telling them is, if I was Denver Tobin, okay, and I saw that Nikola Jovic hadn't signed an extension, and I know that Aaron Gordon may be a little long in the tooth, and I was looking for a new guy to play next to Joker, I'd be looking at that. Now, coincidentally, somebody also didn't sign their big extension this summer. Pat. And maybe you guys should have little Brate play with big Brate at some point. Just saying. Anyway, the Heat also made moves this weekend. They salary dumped Haywood Highsmith. They just sent his ass to the Nets with a second-round pick.
That sounds so cruel.
It really does. It really does. A lot of people were not fans of this. I can understand why you're not fans of this. This made the Heat's roster worse to get under the luxury tax. It's also very strange
now
because the Heat made a big deal of him like giving his number over to Norman Powell and he's going to be number 8 and they made this whole thing. And it makes me wonder, like, were they looking for other options to get under the salary tax? Why was there such a rush to get under the salary tax? They could do that at any point this year. Unless I know he just had knee surgery. Did they think he wasn't going to play? I'm just confused by it.
Right. So I think of it along these lines is that, do you think they always had this as a plan? Because it just seems like it happened out of the blue. It's not an all of a sudden thing. Like, they've always been working to send him somewhere.
Right.
You know?
That doesn't make sense to me because wasn't he the contingency on the KD stuff, like on the KD trades?
Okay. I understand. That was thrown. Shams wrote that article. I know what you're talking about, Brittany. And that was really poorly written by him because let me just tell you, and I really like Haywood Highsmith. He's a great dude. All right. Just plays the right way. He's about the right stuff. There's nowhere on any planet where you're not trading for Kevin Durant and the holdup is Haywood Highsmith.
I agree with you.
I need people to put like I know the Heat fans like to get crazy about everything.
That makes no sense.
It makes no sense in the world. What was reported this weekend by Barry Jackson, which I thought was known, but he put it out there, and if it's got Barry Jackson's stamp of approval, there you go. What the holdup really was Jovic. They didn't want to part with him. Now it still may not have been enough. They still may have gotten outbid by the Rockets, but the Heat really didn't want to give up Nikola Jovic for Kevin Durant.
That makes more sense.
Not Haywood Highsmith. But what was put out there, and I'm really furious about this, is Draymond Green is out here mocking everybody, saying that everybody wanted Haywood Highsmith to start over Jimmy Butler, and now he's gone for a bag of donuts, which is not what happened, okay? That's not what happened.
Who wanted Highsmith to start over?
Nobody did.
Nobody
did. What the Heat did was they were tired of Jimmy's bleep, and they said, guess what, dude? You're coming off the bench for Haywood Highsmith. And Jimmy Butler's like, oh, really? And he walked out of shoot around. And he was suspended again. Which, by the way,
that was after one-legged 3.
That was returning from suspension.
Right.
That was returning from suspension. Which, by the way, masterful job by Spo. That's how an antagonist gets things done. He goes, who could I start for Jimmy that would get Jimmy really mad. Hey, Jimmy, sorry, you're coming off the bench, dude. We want to work you back slowly. Haywood's coming back today. Excuse me? Like, how much would you guys want the security footage of that practice? Because that would have been funny.
Oh, I wanted so bad.
That would have been funny.
So
but
bad.
now, this is
I
what
mean,
Draymond...
how did we not get any footage of that? We got footage of Draymond Green knocking...
Right.
Right.
Someone's gonna have it, right?
have to have
Somebody at Heat headquarters
The
has to
Heat
have it.
are, the Heat as an organization, they're never gonna let that see the light of day.
No, you know what they used it for? I'm going to
Hmm?
tell you what they used it for. Here's how it goes. Jimmy and the Players Association are going to fight for Jimmy to get some of that money back.
Yep.
And they're going to go Exhibit A.
Exactly. So Draymond Green, he tweeted out or threaded out. People use threads? That's the thing.
Yes, it is a thing.
People use you use threads?
I don't use threads, but people use threads.
I accidentally end up on Threads. I don't use it.
Yeah, I use threads because my Instagram forces whatever I go to
Yes.
threads, because we all thought threads was gonna be a
Yeah.
thing, but whatever.
I find that a lot of athletes use it, so I'm not surprised that Draymond Green's on there. Like, I always see
Well,
Bam
because
Sam's a big threader.
here's the
Sam's-
problem.
Twitter, a huge
Instagram and Threads are connected. So anything you put on Instagram automatically goes to Threads.
Yes,
So
but it's
they
not
may
like-
be using Instagram and it ends up on Threads. No,
But it's not on it's not pictures. It's like actually like active. Like I don't
It's
want to
supposed to
say
be Twitter.
tweeting, but it's like essentially like tweeting.
right.
Well, people thought it was gonna be a thing for like 3 seconds when Musk bought X and he turned Twitter to X, and I haven't kept strong on threads, but perhaps I should. But Draymond Green, he threaded out, y'all, parenthetics, internet experts wanted Jimmy to come off the bench behind dude, and 5 months later, the Heat traded him for a bag of chips. That's wild. And I'm just wondering, what the hell is he talking about?
Hey,
What the hell? What stories is he listening to from Jimmy Butler?
I'm gonna say this too. Okay, that love fest, y'all both getting long in the tooth. This is Jimmy's first year with Golden State, and there's 3 old guys, and all of them are going to be required to play to keep them in the hunt. And let's see who plays the most games.
The funny thing is, like Draymond, and I'm sorry, you smoked this like you do a layup. You really, what you should have just done is y'all, and just could have had it referred to the Heat, and that would have been a great thread.
Right.
Because then you would have boxed in the Heat being like, you wanted him to come off the bench for Jimmy, and now you traded him. But then you ruined it.
But he still doesn't know the story.
You ruined it by putting internet experts. What are you talking about? It's going to be a podcast episode of his, yeah?
Wait, Smeathan
really?
said it perfectly. It's impressive how confident he is saying things he has no clue about.
I guess that is how Draymond Green has
That
gotten
is
this far.
literally him, though. That is
That is
quite
him.
literally the definition of Draymond Green.
That is how he's gotten this far. The other move that happened this weekend with the Heat was Drew Smith got a 3-year, kind of really a 1-year deal to come back with the Miami Heat. Will which of course which of course made Frog Boy crazy, but we got to take a break. We'll get back into it a little later on and talk about it, because the Heat, they got a lot of guards now, dude. They got a lot of guards. They really did need a little more size, but they got a lot of guards. But we got to take a break. We'll get you updated with all the NFL happenings.